Good morning, Spartans. Welcome to, what's today? Thursday. Just getting up and going here. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Once again, I have not looked at anything in the markets this morning, so just now doing that. Yo, what's up, X-Ling? How are you doing this morning, sir? Good, I hope. All right. Hope everybody's up and going and ready for a great day. Clear that. Oh, here we go. Adjust this out. 241.66. All-time high there. My SPY almost hit all-time high in PM. All right. Fantastic. Just like usual, let me get into the private group, get those guys up and going with their morning post and things I'll need them to look at and do this morning. Then I will come back and we will look at we'll fix IWM, we'll fix SPY, and look at a few other things and kind of go from there. So yeah, just give me a few minutes. Let me do that. Like I say every morning, if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything you want me to take a look at while I'm gone, post up there in chat. Let me know. I don't mind taking a look at some stuff and helping you guys, seeing whatever I can do. So give me a few minutes. Let me get this up and going, and I'll be back. Well, not really going anywhere. Just gonna type for a minute. Everybody got their coffee? Ready to roll? While I'm doing this, if you guys are new here, it's a great time to hit that little follow button there if you're on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Both of those, like I say, every morning are free and go a long way to really helping us out. So right now, we got a few minutes downtime. Perfect time to take care of that for me. Joe, what's up, man? How are you doing this morning, sir? Okay. Got that done. So, ready to get it? Yes, sir, we are. Getting the private group stuff set up. Getting a few things posted and going. Anybody got any questions or anything they want to take a look at this morning before we get started? 9:15, so we got 15 minutes. Still got to clean up SPY, IWM, get those charted. But if there's anything anybody wants to take a look at, we can. Today, while I'm doing this, let's post this up. Today, we had CPI this morning, followed by jobless claims. Not a ton of movement. We did see some market reaction to that, and it quickly up and down. But laterally, we're about pretty much the same where we were. So, did see some movement that we were expected, but we didn't. Let me scroll down a little bit. This is SPY. We started here, kind of ending here. So we had the big movement, but for us options traders, nothing that really stuck, nothing to be really concerned about, because we're pretty much right back where we started. So it didn't really affect the market too much. Nothing really, no big overall movements because of it. So not too concerned. Definitely with PPI, like we've seen earlier in the week, and CPI, it's something you definitely want to take note of. But typically, you don't see these big movements or day altering movements, I guess you could say. But they're good to know if you're holding overnight when they're coming, and just take a look at them that morning. All right, let's chart. So here's SPY. This one is still our all-time at 654.80. So we can go back to a solid line because we are not sharing that line this morning. So that one can go there. This one is our closest, as you can see here, our closest. And this is going to be our opening range high from Wednesday. So we're going to denote that on there. And then it's going to turn to our orange for the day. Then everything else can get deleted, minus the green, of course, because green is our support and resistance. Those are historical. Those never change. We never touch them. So this can go, these two. This white one. You could leave this blue if you wanted to. But I'm not too overly concerned with it. So we can delete it. As I did delete that, we had a support that we were going to chart yesterday, which was right there, I believe. I know it was a line that we had, and I could have just deleted it. But I am going to add that one in as a green. So that was 649.69. So as you can see, historically, that was a good support resistance, or an area mainly of resistance, because we've been trading to the downside. But I did want to add that one in. I mentioned it yesterday. Honestly, forgot about it till now, till I seen that. So I just wanted to make sure we get that one put in there. All right. So there is that. So now we can do our lines. So this is going to be our opening range high. I mean, pre-market. Pre-market low. And then grab session low. Now, take a look at this. That was off just a tick. So that is our pre-market high. It is also our session high. So what does that mean, guys? It means we got to double this line. Do we want to double it purple? Do we want to double it white? It doesn't matter. This is going to be session high Wednesday. And all that means is that later in the day we can look at this. What is that? Why is it? And we just denote it why. So pretty simple. All right. IWM, same concept. This is going to be our opening range low, and that's going to be our orange. Opening range low Wednesday. Turn that white. And we just turn it white just so we can see it over here. That's all we're doing. And then we're going to turn this orange to denote that's our carryover. Then we can delete. Purple can go. White can go. Look, this is session high, session low from Tuesday. We traded Wednesday. So we are still within that range. That's what is making this market tough right now. Hopefully after CPI, PPI, or CPI today, jobless today, PPI yesterday, we gain a little bit of breathing room in the market. So, alrighty. Missed that one. Okay. There's pre-market high. Pre-market low. So right there is pre-market. So this one doesn't count. This one does. Session high. $235.46. Session low. And there we go, guys. So session high, low, pre-market high, pre-market low. Once we get started, 30 minutes in, get a little bit of movement on the day, we'll do our opening range low, opening range high, and go from there. So it's really, really about it. But even if we scroll out on the big picture, last 1, 2, 3, 4 days has been pretty tight right in this range. I mean, pretty spot on for what we've been doing daily. All right, so 5 minutes, just clicked over to 5 minutes left till market open. So make sure you take a few minutes, check your account status, what you can and cannot get into. Time for a dad joke. Okay, we can do that. All right, here we go. Dad joke. How do you tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? I have no clue. You'll see one later and one in a while. Oh man, that is a dad joke. Back in the day, man, that's something your dad would tell you. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile, or something. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. You know, at any time, you guys can do the dad jokes. You can do the Magic 8-Ball stuff. For a list of all the commands, you can type I commands. And then you just click that link and it shows you all the commands and stuff that you can do on the page. Still got to set some of that stuff up, but yeah, pretty cool. I like it. They're funny. Oh, goodness. All right. Time to get started, yes. 2 minutes. Like I said, make sure you check that account status. Get that up and going. Make sure you know what you can and cannot get into. Hopefully we get some of that good movement today. Less than a minute to go, guys. All right, here we go. Market is now open. We are live, ready to roll. Apple trying to come down. Google popped there. What? 241.66. So got a little bit of ways to go. Nvidia 180. If you're still in Nvidia calls from earlier in the week, those are doing really well. Tesla the drop right off bat back to support. Once again, and Walmart just right off 100. All right. So I just asked Magic 8 Ball, is the market going to push higher today now that CPI and jobless numbers are out? Twitch says perhaps, which is, yeah, okay. And then YouTube is saying never. So, yeah, we Magic 8 Ball seems to be on both sides of the coin today. So covering its bases. So if we go higher, then it says, hey, I was right on Twitch. And if it goes lower, then, hey, I was right on YouTube. So playing both sides of the fence there, it looks like. But then I guess he could say that he was right either way. All right, so looks like SPY is pushing into that pre-market high and that session high from yesterday. Yeah, exactly. um, Pre-market high, session high from yesterday. So watch this. Looks like it's bouncing down, but that's going to be higher level of resistance. If we break this, the closer we get to this all-time high, think of it as like a stair step. It's every little tick up till here is just going to build more and more resistance. So just watch that. IWM off of opening range low and over resistance at 237.05, so that's now flopped to support. SPY looks like it's trying to retest that level. Walmart saying it does not want to give up. Google dropping. Apple. We did have, so for you guys in the private group yesterday, we did have another alert. Another alert after we got off screen. We grabbed a SPY put, and it ran for over 100%. So in the private group yesterday, we had 4 alerts. All 4 hit PT, and all 4 hit 100% or more. So yesterday was a great day. We grabbed that SPY 1240 at 56, and it ran to 149, I believe. The big winner of the day was PayPal. That PayPal alert, I believe. And I posted on social, but it ran over 300% for us yesterday. So not too shabby. Oh, 160.03 on AMD held pretty well, it looks like. I mean, that right there is a good example of why you need to learn support and resistance. If you don't know support and resistance, you need to get with me. Speaking of support and resistance, on AMD, we're coming down into that 157.93 support. So far, it looks like we're wanting to hold, but Nvidia's dropping, Google's dropping, SPY's finally pulling back. I mean, we're only 6 minutes in, but we need to just kind of watch and evaluate and see. Since we're options traders, we really need to wait for that development. We that's that SPY. No, that's that PayPal from yesterday. Sorry. We really need to wait on that development for the movement. If we were a stock trader, no big deal. You could buy the dip, so on and so forth. Being options trader, you cannot. I mean, you can per se, but that's not a fantastic strategy. We need good defined movement. Price action is our friend. I honestly, I know for the economy and stuff, if it goes up, it's great. Get it, totally get it. For me, I don't care if it goes up or down. If SPY crashes today, I'm going to be thankful because I'm going to buy in SPY puts and make it kill them. So that's what a trader, an options trader, needs to look at. There's that NVIDIA from earlier in the week. Doing well. Anyway, that's what we need as an option trader. We need that price action. We need this movement. Actually, this is Apple. We played Apple yesterday. This is the 30-minute, but that's what we need as an option trader. Open. This is a stock that we alerted in the group. We've played options on it, and it's still pushing. So, with us needing that movement, the first little bit in the market is really nothing to jump on. Will we? Yes. Have we? Yes. We did yesterday. Actually, we played. What was it? No, we played Apple right off the bat. Apple alert went off at 9:38. So by this time yesterday, we were already in Apple and making money. We actually PT'd on it at 9:44, in at 9:38, out at 9:40, or started scaling at 9:44. So it's there, but it's risky. We don't have that long movement that we need. Anyway, IWM off that 237.05, looking good. SPY through that opening range from Wednesday level that we were watching. Tesla just now dropped back. We're trying to push again. SPY through that level at 653.94. Definitely has room to the downside on SPY. Looks like we're coming into a little bit of support here on SPY, so watch that. NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, Apple, Google, all trying to push back up off that 15-minute opening candle. So next 5-10 minutes is going to really tell us a whole lot about the market, if what it wants to do, and a little bit of a direction that it wants to take today. So be careful if you're in anything right now. Could see a little bit of a reversal here. So the daily range on SPY, let's see, SPY is starting to push back up. Daily range on SPY has dropped to 5.15. So we were trading at 5.5. So we're just a little over 5 points now on SPY. So that range is starting to close in on SPY. Had this big drop on Google and room for consolidation. It needs to hold this peach line for more to the downside. But it looks like a lot of the market's wanting to push pretty much everything that's up and moving in the upward trend, except for IWM. We popped up to this session high from yesterday, and now it's starting to pull back. We can take a look at it on a bigger time frame to see what it wants to do. 18 minutes in, guys. Still early. SPY looks like it's wanting to push over that session high from yesterday and our pre-market high. Like I said, watch this gap here. I know we're only talking a 30-point gap, but if we blast through this, we're going to gain some momentum, and then we could easily push this all-time high higher. I don't think I would trade into that, but just be careful. Going to take a closer look here. AMD put. I do like AMD as far as a put goes. I'm not in it because we're only 20 minutes in, so we still have some room. But yeah, you're right. This is one of the better ones you've been looking at. It's following this peach line. We do have room to the downside. My only gripe, and it might be a mute point because we're Thursday, but AMD weeklies, or heck, even longer out, gets expensive. So the 155p is right outside the money. They're AMD's at one of those that trade on the 2.5 strike price. So 155p right now is trading at 114. Not bad. And then it goes to 152.5, which drops to $55. But yeah, I don't like. I mean, I don't mind AMD puts. I don't mind this Walmart setup to the upside. So few things starting to set up, but we've got all day. So I'm not overly worried right now. Walmart is just strong. All right, so SPY looks like it did pop that session high that we were looking at. And it looks like it's looking for all-time high. That AMD is starting to level off a little bit. Another, and I know this is just, I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but one thing I look at is still, there we go, SPY just new all-time high. Is what's the market doing? A lot of stuff's pushing, so it would be tough for me to get into a put. I know that's counterintuitive, but if I don't know. It goes back to that saying, if everybody dyes their hair purple and cuts it into a mohawk, are you going to do the same? Well, if 20 of your friends are doing it, you're probably going to do it too. So if the market's pushing, why would just one ticker just, see what I'm saying? It's counter trend to the market. So that's one thing you got to focus on. I know I talk a lot about the ETFs, SPY, IWM, QQQ, stuff like that. Those are made up of more than one ticker, so you've really got to pay attention to the market with those. But if we're in a sideways market, kind of choppy, I don't pay a whole lot of attention if we get good movement on one or two tickers. But if after 12 beers, yeah, I'm not going to dye my hair purple and cut it into a mohawk. But if the whole market's going up, I see one ticker that might go down, then I'm a little bit more hesitant about grabbing that put. So that's why I would be pretty hesitant right now on starting AMD position. IWM testing yesterday's session high. Watch that. We're 25 minutes in, so give it another 10-ish minutes and we'll set that opening range. And then we can really start locking in and trying to focus on trying to get some stuff moving. Looks like SPY's getting some profit takers there off of that push. So it looks like the Twitch Magic 8 Ball is so far the right side of that one. Market definitely seeing more to the upside this morning. Big green there on SPY and big green there on IWM. I have a cat trying to be the center of the universe. What's up, Chris? How are you doing this morning, sir? Good, I hope. Appreciate you joining us there on Twitch versus the old YouTube. It's pretty quiet here this morning. Just the way I like it. All right. Hopefully we'll set up some trends. All right. Another dad joke. Why did the cookie cry? It was feeling crumbly. That one's lame. That one sucked. Don't write those guys, I promise. Man, IWM is just out for vengeance. Nice. Just be careful riding that spy. You're in no man's land. Like it said, anything over that gold line at 654.80, we have zero history on. You are flying by the seat of your pants and hoping for the best. And like I say, hope is not a tactic. Um, I don't like to say it, but you're kind of gambling at that point. So make sure you set your profit, your stop loss, and follow it. Don't set it and forget it and think it's going to the moon. Okay, perfect. Yeah, don't get greedy because that one could easily reverse and come back quickly. All right, so we're 31 minutes in. Let's go ahead and set our opening range. Do want to look at one thing right there. All right. Spy. 229. That is not spy. How do I? Oh, so if I grab the right screen there. Opening range low is going to be right there. Lock it in. Opening range high is going to be right there. And locked it in. Plus 30. Sweet. Yeah, good little trade. Just be careful. This is now our opening range high, which we're starting to see a little bit of resistance off of. So just be careful. Like I said, you've got your stop loss above your entry, so you're pretty much guaranteed a positive trade, which is good. That's a big opening range there on IWM. It had that nice push. Kind of hate we missed it, but not going to get FOMO. Always more trades. And there's our opening range. See if we can base here for that push on SPY. Looking at the same, I want to base here for another push on IWM, but it's getting pretty oversold. But it could be one of those days where we just really start pushing. How did I learn to trade? A lot of trial and error. I know that sounds bad. Started with stocks, of course, and was dabbling in stocks, holding stocks, learning different things about actual stock trading, and trying to grow my portfolio and stuff like that. And then I ended up learning about options. When I started, I had no clue what an option was. I'm like, somebody, I believe one day said, "Hey, why are you not trading options?" And I'm like, what the heck is an option? And sorry, we just PT'd on a trade song. And I'm like, what the heck is an option? So then I started researching options, started going deeper down that rabbit hole, and starting small, and just learning. But a lot of hands-on, a lot of paper trading, and journaling my trades really helped. And I hate to say it, man, like I said, trial and error, finding out what worked for me, and implementing that. And I would learn a new thing. Not saying support and resistance, but like when I learned about support and resistance, I would do it and give it a few weeks to see if that affected my trading. And if not, I get rid of it. Went through a lot of different indicators and stuff like that to find out what works for me. And that's really how I learned how to trade. I've been trading over 10 years now. So put in a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. I'm not gonna lie, some tears, man. I had some days where take some big losses. Like, is this is this really what I need to be doing? But all in all, it's paid off. It's been lucrative. Do it full time now, and you guys see it. I get to work half a day sometimes, and I love it. So, and an occasional steak. We do eat some steak, don't we? I'm definitely a steak eater. Oh, 102C. This one's really good. That Tesla is starting to push. This one was alerted at 0.53. PT was given at 0.64 for 20%. Watch this one coming in at 102. If we can base over 102, we could definitely see more to the upside there. In reality, there's a level of trial and error for a lot of people. Just have to control emotions and risk. Yeah, so excellent. Chris, or oh look, it's a squirrel, has been with me. We were talking the other day, like 4 years. He's been through some trial and error, and you don't want to get stagnant. Let me say that's a something a pro tip. The market is forever changing. What we're doing this week may not have been the same a month ago. Chris is one of those that really hones his skill and always trying new things. And me and him go back and forth off stream and stuff a lot about ideas and things that he's focusing on that does really well. And credit where it's due. Some of the things I do today and some of the things that you see me do, I got from Chris. He's like, man, check this out. This is working for me. Okay, cool. Let me try it. And it sticks. Some of the stuff that I've tried, I'm like, man, that's not for me. And I dump it. But that's the cool thing about our private group in the community is that we do a lot of bouncing ideas off each other and things like that. That Walmart hit 71. Nice. But that's the good thing about building a community of like-minded traders. We also have 2 different platforms. Yeah, we do. I use Webull and Chris is on TOS, I believe. I think. I don't know. Watch this level 102. See if we, like I said, we need to base there. So SPY broke that opening range high, came back down, retested it, and now trying to push up. So if you're in that SPY that Xling was talking about, you got to pay attention to this peach line. That peach line is now moving through that opening range high, so that could push this higher. But that new high of day is going to be a consistent moving resistance line. You've got to be careful with that. And it looks like AMD and NVIDIA are setting up to the downside. Get that posted. But once again, if you guys are new here, make sure you give us a follow. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe there. Like I said, both are completely free. Helps out the channel. Easy, quick way to show support. And it honestly means a lot to me. I know you get some of these streamers and stuff, not necessarily in our platform, but some of those streamers that have hundreds of thousands and all this, and I'm just a small town nobody pretty much. So I support every. I mean, I appreciate every little bit of support we get. I try to be as true and honest and open as possible. It's just me. Hope you guys don't mind. There's a lot of fake people and personas out in trading. I can't stand that crap. With me, what you see is what you get, unfortunately. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Stop. So I know we talk about the squeeze a lot. We will take it. Thank you, buddy. We will take it and keep eating steak, right? And brisket mixed in. I know we talk a lot about the squeeze, but it looks like we're getting a squeeze here on Google. Could go either way. Walmart now 80. Nice move there. And we're starting to break that to the upside. Yep, that AMD put. I figured you were watching that, but you could see why I was a little hesitant. From here when we started talking about it to here was all said sideways action, but then we started getting that movement that would definitely pay on a AMD put. So ideally, yes, no, yes, if that makes sense. Perfect, man. That peach is there for a reason. If you guys are in this Walmart, please don't get greedy with it. Please. Yep. I was wondering if we were going to see a bounce off of Tesla. Tesla is nice, but we trade that TSL a lot because they follow each other. That's why I've got them both pulled up here. TSLL being that derivative of Tesla is a whole lot cheaper. And I would say 95% of the time they run together. Have seen instances. Yeah, that's why we play that TSLL. I have seen instances, very few and far between, and I just got an alert for Tesla moving up. Few and far between where Tesla goes up, TSL goes down. It does happen, but I mean, you can see the daily charts are pretty much spot on to each other. A little bit of a break to the downside there on Google. SPY still riding that opening range as well as IWM. Remember, we've seen this push coming into it. Wanted to see how it's going to react, but yeah. I do a long TSL put because I figured it's only a matter of time when Elon says something. He does. He opens his mouth a lot of times and says stuff he hasn't, but I'm not going to get into it, especially the whole Elon thing. But I still think Tesla as a company, great investment, going places, and if you hold Tesla shares, you're not you're I wouldn't say doing something right, but it's not a bad idea. The Elon Trump fight. Yeah, those two, brother and sister, like brother and sister, I guess you could say, or brother and brother, step brothers. I picked up a few shares when the cars were on Friday. Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. And Tesla's one of those that if you watch on social media, you know, I hope nobody gets their financial advice from Twitch and Twitter, and not really Twitch, because we're on there. But you know what I'm saying? Like these Facebook posts and Twitter posts and all that crap. I mean, you look on there and those guys are, oh, Tesla is going to go bankrupt. The stock's going to zero, and man, I've been hearing that crap for years. We've been trading Tesla for a long time. I remember really when we started as a group started playing Tesla, we were playing it when it was $500-600, and you're like, oh, Jason, look, I mean, we're only at $357. Yeah, we were at $500-600, and we were playing it, and it ran up till $1,200-1,300 a share before the split. It ended up splitting, and then it dropped back to mid hundreds, 200 a share. Then it dropped back to 100. I was telling people to buy. Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and everybody's like, oh, Tesla's going to zero and all this stuff. Because of the split, they didn't understand what was going on. And now we're 4 times that. So I still think Tesla for the long haul is a good play. There's that dip we were watching on Walmart. Coming in some resistance, 1423 on TSLL. But we saw it come in, the charts don't lie. Exactly. 100%. Trade off the charts, not off emotions. All right. We just PT'd on another trade. This one was just a fun little trade here on TSLL. We were talking about it. It was a good setup. It was cheap, so why not? TSLL. We grabbed the 14.5C. We alerted it at 0.15. PT was given at 0.18 for 20%. And as you can see, we quickly hit that. And like I said, that was more for fun. I alerted it as that when we got in. But other than that, it looks like some stuff just kind of trailing off, starting to trend sideways. We are an hour in now, and just not a whole lot going on. We do have some room for consolidation on that Tesla or TSLM. So be careful. Now I'm just going to scroll through a few things, kind of see BABA. New all-time highs this morning. 151.10. It's not going to give it to me, is it? It looks like it's wanting to pull back off of that. Palantir looking to come back down and test that 160.64. Figured we'd get a better run up on that one. Still looking a little oversold on those guys, but SPY new high a day. All right, dad joke incoming. It's been a while. Oh man, that was a good one. Muhammad Gandhi, as you know, walked barefoot most of the time, which produced an impressive set of calluses on his feet. He also ate very little, which made him rather frail, and with his odd diet, he suffered from bad breath. This made him a super callous, fragile mystic hexed by halitosis. Oh my god. That was kind of dumb too. Yeah, I agree. That one was too long. Like I said, I don't write these. They write themselves. I don't know where it gets it from, but that one that one was that one was probably one of the worst ones. I mean, I get it. Super calloused, fragile, mystic, hexed by halitosis. What the for real, guys? Yeah, Spy is definitely pushing up there. I mean, we're 2 points over all time highs. So, I mean, it's scary, but just make sure if you're still in that trade, make sure you're just managing that risk to the upside. Move, keep. I think you said your stop loss was above your entry, so just make sure you're moving that stop loss as we keep going up. Okay, so you're out of Spy. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that was a good trade. Oh man, wake up. There we go. Come on. In a trade about the PT, we're right there, guys. Know how we can figure out the SPY thing. Magic 8 Ball is SPY going to the moon. And then, of course, it says this is Sparta, which is correct. And then YouTube said, don't ask that. That's funny. Well, that one was good. That one's good. I gotta post that one in the private group. That was funny. I needed that. All right, so should have PT'd. Yeah, we PT'd. Okay, now I can tell you guys. Sorry, I got a kick out of the Spartan thing. Let me post this to those guys. Tell them that we PT'd. And get that up for you guys. Kind of goes hand in hand with that SPY, but we played IWM to the upside. IWM, I just like that chart off of this opening range better than I did the SPY, so we went that direction. Not only that, but I bought yesterday's expiration as well on the 240 call. Alerted it to the private group at 90, and PT was given at 108, 20%. So if you guys follow that along in the private group, just make sure you are managing that trade. We're pushing higher on SPY, We are pushing higher on IWM, definitely out of that range that we've been watching. So just please be careful. There we go. Get that one posted for you guys. But like I said, if you're new here, please make sure you follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, thumbs up. We do this every day. Every day the market's open, we're going to be here supporting you guys and doing everything we can. We do have the private group. The private group gets these alerts in real time. So they got the alert at 0.90 where you guys got it at 116. Some of the perks of being in the private group, they get better charting. They get 24/7 access to me and the other moderators in the group that help out. We do live training. We do one-on-one sessions. We have a training room. A lot of cool stuff. Just really trying to build a community of like-minded traders to help each other out. And our goal is to make everybody a profitable options trader. So if you want to be a part of that or check it out, at the top of our chat there is a link to our website. We offer a 7-day free trial on everything. So if you want to give it a shot, you can. Whatever subscription level you sign up with, you get 7 days to check it out. If you like it, great. Stick around, be part of the community, hang out with us. If you don't like it within the 7 days, you just cancel. We remove you. No harm, no foul. Still come hang out with us on chat. But yeah, like I tell everybody on social media, we do this daily. I'm not a pressure salesman. If you sign up for the group, great. If not, no worries. That is completely up to you. But we're going to do this daily with or without you. That's completely up to you. So full transparency though, we are in one other trade that's going against us, but we have taken 4 trades this morning. 3 have hit PT. Yes, how do I learn to scale out past PT and keep getting out all at PT instead of scaling out? Frog, you're in the private group. Post that in chat and we will address that ASAP. The main chat, the purple one. But yeah, that's a good question. That is one of the perks of the private group. Hold on one sec, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, AMD to the downside, which is nice. Sorry, I was responding to a question. Hey, Frog, see if that helps explain what we were talking about. But if not, let me know. And I can go more in depth and try to help you out. Looks like we're starting to get a reversal here on SPY, IWM. Tesla's looking like it's wanting to. Exlin was talking about AMD. It's dropping, coming into support 155.23. And we just had a big red. No clue what happened there on Google. Excuse me. So we could see more to the downside in the market. So please be careful. Coming up on 11 o'clock. Market's starting to lose some of its edge. We had that good push so far. Let's kind of see if it's going to hold or not. Don't scare me like that. Once in a while, I forget we are on opposite coast. My bad. My bad. Need a big disclaimer. We have this big clock up here. I still don't see how you other coast guys do it. I guess growing up being on this coast, 11 o'clock's 11 o'clock. Bell's 9:30 to 4. You know, TV shows and all that. You know what? If a TV show comes on here at 9 o'clock, what does it come on at 6 o'clock your time? Hell, I'm still usually working. Then it just all that just always baffles me, and I've never spent enough time out west to really worry about it. But just one of those things you kind of think about growing up over the years. I know that's dumb. That's really probably dumb. Football Sunday was nice when I was in Cali. Time is nice. So I guess football came on earlier for you guys. So like, I mean, I watch college football, but so like NFL or whatever, if a game's on 8, 9, 10 o'clock here, it's 3 hours earlier for you guys. So yeah, I can see where that would be nice. I grew up and lived mostly Central and Eastern time zones. That's weird, even after 5 years being this far off of everyone I know. Yeah, I could see that, Chris. Moving around, that's one thing that gets tough with time changes and stuff. So my family, we've got family that lives down in Florida, and we go visit a lot of times, and it's same time zone as us, but literally 5 minutes down the road is where the time changes. So you've kind of got to be careful because it's right on the Florida Alabama line. So you could be in Florida and it'd be 10 o'clock. Oh shoot! And then you go 5 miles down the road to eat dinner or whatever, and now it's 9 o'clock. So it's wonky. I've always, even when I was a little kid, I thought that was funny. Now I'm on the East Coast and Monday Night Football. Yeah, I could see where that would be easier. Hell, when I was stationed in Hawaii, I was watching Monday Night Football at work. Yeah, because Hawaii is like 6 hours. I don't know if you've been around long enough, Ops, where I tell a story. We used to have a guy 2 years ago, 3 years ago, in our group that traded a lot with us. Younger guy, he was in the military. He was stationed in Hawaii. He would get up at like 4:30 in the morning just to trade with us. And I'm like, dude, you're dedicated. I don't see how you do it. But yeah, he would get up super early, being in Hawaii, just to get on and get ready for the markets at 5:30. So, or 9:30. I want to say it was 4:30 or so. He'd get up at like 4:30. I don't remember, but it was just crazy. I lived on the Indiana side of the Illinois Indiana state line, and it was also times online. The phones would switch if you got close enough. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I could only imagine living somewhere like that where you constantly had to worry about the time. You would think that if you were in a town and the time zone was right there, that even if you were on the wrong side of it, the town as a whole would be like, "Oh, we're going to follow this time schedule or something," you know? I think that's hilarious. Not a lot going on. We're kind of trending sideways a little bit. So in Indiana, we were in Eastern time. When I'd go to Alabama, I'd go southeast and end up back in Central time. It was always throwing me off. Yeah, I can see that, Chris. I've never been to. Wait, have I? Have been to Alabama one time. Well, well, Indiana. Never. No, been to Ohio once for like an hour. But no, I've been to Alabama a few times. Nothing major. Mainly just driving through. I think I spent about a day in Birmingham once. That was kind of all right, but never really spent any major time in Alabama. I think I went to an event there once on a weekend, but it was literally by far in the middle of nowhere, nowhere. Lived in Huntsville. I don't even know where Huntsville's at. Never been there. But that event, there, like you talk about middle of the woods, that's where this event was. So I don't really count that as being Alabama, even though it was. The only thing cool that I did there, I remember there was a Sonic and a drive-in theater. That was different. Ended up sleeping through the movie, but oh, okay. I've been to Nashville a few times, twice. Nashville's cool. I mean, I'm not a huge country music person, but it's uh, it's a cool city. If somebody said, "Hey, let's go spend the weekend in Nashville," I'd be like, "Okay, I got no question or no issues with that place." Man, you've been all around, haven't you, Chris? I've pretty much lived in the southeast, and you've been everywhere. Oh gosh. You guys better not let me fall asleep on stream. Yeah, it would be pretty funny. I would love to visit all 50 states. I've got, I mean, I've done my fair share, but nowhere near 50. Now, let me ask you this. This is just a general group question about visiting states. So, if you fly somewhere and you have a layover in a state that you've never been to, like I got a flight in November. Coming back, we have a layover in Chicago. Never been to Chicago, but does that count as that state? Even though I'm only going to spend an hour in the airport? I've always wondered that. I consider it that you have to stay overnight to count. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, the airports are cool, but doesn't really count for the overall, hey, I've been to this state kind of thing. So there goes Texas, Colorado, New Jersey. I don't know. I drove out of New Jersey. Well, didn't spend the night in New Jersey. Dang it. Dude, I was in the military for 33 years. I do not want to move anymore. Oh, man. Were you all around the U.S. or were all around the world or... You probably have kids all over the world. Do I need to go back and delete that comment off stream so nobody's got proof? That's funny. That's funny. Two seven, big push there on Tesla. So just shy of 30% on that one. 30%, 100% on that trade. 30.30 will be 100%. How's Google? Google both pretty much same. Kind of trending sideways. I thought we were going to break down, especially off that morning drop. But now we're starting to push up. We've got some support coming in here, 239.14 and 239 level. So I wouldn't get in a call on it, but it's funny. I had a message on Facebook I was just responding to. And you know, when you click on Facebook, especially on desktop, it shows you the feed. This guy was, it was a stock thing. This guy's all excited that his stock ran 14.6% today, and he's talking about that he's grinning like a fat kid in a candy store right now. And I'm like, man, you're super excited over a 14% return when we don't get excited on a daily if we don't get 20%. Yeah, no steaks. He is not eating steaks. Well, he might be. I mean, it was an expensive $90 stock alert, but it's still probably not steak. I mean, you're maybe a $15 return. There it is. No, $11.41. So he got excited over $11.41. So yeah, no steak. Maybe McDonald's, which I'm not knocking McDonald's, but McDonald's is definitely not a steak. I just think it's funny that he's all like, yeah, patience pays at 14.6%, yada yada yada. Dude, I'm not happy if McRibs. Oh no! Don't tell me you eat the McRibs. Oh, not one of those guys. Ugh. It's a Big Mac for me. I like the Big Mac, the quarter pounder with cheese, the double quarter with cheese. Their chicken nuggets are pretty good too. I don't know. I've just never been a McRib guy. Oh. Some of my employees at one of my past businesses, freaking McDonald's got expensive. Never had one before. Are they bad? I don't know. The McRibs is just like processed goo slush. Yeah, I can get better at a mom and pop place. It's like they take this pork goo and compress it to make this thing that looks like a rib, and they slather barbecue sauce on it and put it on a bun. I'm like, ugh. I used to have these employees. Hey, we hit 100% on TSLL. I had these employees that would just wait. Yeah, that is pretty much McDonald's. They could not wait for the McRibs to come out. And when the McRib would come back, they would eat that for lunch like 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm like, y'all are disgusting. But yeah, you guys are right. I mean, fast food has gotten so expensive. When was it? This past weekend? I was busy and I was out doing a lot, and I was starving. I was like, I'm gonna grab me some lunch. No, it's a southern thing. I don't know if you guys where you're at. If you have Bojangles, it's a fast food chicken place. It's pretty. Oh yeah, you know Bojangles. Bojangles is it's good. I mean, it's real chicken and it's real good. But I think it's a southern thing. Dang, look at that pop there on Spy. You might be right on your prediction there, Chris. But Bojangles is good. You forgot about that place. Bojangles, if y'all know, Bo knows, man. Bo knows some good stuff. Anyway, pull up there, and I get made fun of. I eat the same stuff anywhere I go. But I pull up a drive-thru, and they got new chicken nuggets. I always get their chicken tenders, so I'm like, hey, chicken nugget, probably be a little bit better. I was busy driving, a little easier to eat, right? So they had chicken nuggets. They had a 6-piece, 8-piece, 10-piece, 12-piece. So I'm like, all right, give me the 12-piece nugget. I love their fries, so I got a large fry and a large sweet tea. That was it, guys. That was it. No biscuit, no nothing. 12 nuggets, large fry, large sweet tea. That shit was almost $17. I pull up at the window and I'm like, can you repeat that back to me? Yeah, I was like, damn. I could have went and had a steak dinner for $17. I was like, wow. It's crazy. I just, fast food's just, and I mean, I'm a fat kid. I eat when I eat. And if I go to like McDonald's or somewhere, no biscuit, yeah, you got screwed. I did. In their boxes, they usually give you a biscuit, but there was no biscuit in this one. With the Supremes, they give you a biscuit, but I don't know. But I can go to Chick-fil-A, I can go to McDonald's or somewhere, Burger King, and when I'm hungry, I mean, I can eat $15, $20 worth of. That would have been $21. But I mean, I was conservative. 12 nuggets, fry, drink, $17. I'm like, holy crap. But hey, going back to what you said earlier, Chris, the mom and pop thing, literally in the same parking lot is this, Zaxby's. Zaxby's is another one that's expensive. Do you not have Zaxby's out there in the middle of nowhere where you're at? But there's a mom and pop pizza place that just opened up right behind that Bojangles. And Chick-fil-A. Oh, I love Chick-fil-A. Y'all are making me hungry. But that mom and pop pizza place has a Italian sub. That's about 8-10 inch sub that is phenomenal. They give you a pickle, the sub, a bag of chips, and a drink. I can get that for like $9. I'm like, and it is honestly probably better than that Bojangles was. Like, dang it. And another thing that gripes me, Chick-fil-A's not bad. Chick-fil-A's pretty spot on. Zaxby's is getting there. McDonald's, Burger King, Bojangles, Dave's Hot Chicken in Portland. Never heard of that one. Oh, and I got a story to tell you guys about Chick-fil-A. I think everybody's had or heard of Chick-fil-A. But fast food's not fast anymore. What's up with that? Or at least around here. You pull up to the window, you get what you get. You used to go to the first window and pay. You don't even do that now. You go to the second window and pay. And now they always make you like pull up to the door or go park and we'll bring your food out. Like, what the hell is that? When I was a kid, you'd go to McDonald's. You'd pay at the first window, and as you drive to the second window, they're standing there or holding it out the window pretty much, and you don't even have to stop. Just drive by, grab it, and go. I don't understand that. The best breakfast sandwich is Chick-fil-A, best biscuit, hands down, 100% agree. Their chicken biscuit, spicy chicken biscuit, or bacon, egg, and cheese, especially with their tater tots or their hash brown things. Oof, so good. All right, funny story, and a lot of people don't believe me about Chick-fil-A. Everybody knows and seen, well, especially if you're in the South, Chick-fil-A, all they serve is chicken, and their advertising is cows trying to get you to eat more chicken so they save the cows, right? Yeah, well, that's Chick-fil-A. Believe it or not, I have been to a Chick-fil-A, and this was years ago, before they recently changed their menu over the past, couple years. I have been to a Chick-fil-A and have ordered and ate, and it was good, a double cheeseburger. And for my side was macaroni and cheese. And that was before macaroni and cheese was on the menu. And people are like, how the hell did you go to Chick-fil-A and eat a double cheeseburger? I did, I promise. We were going through Atlanta once years ago, and Chick-fil-A was started in Atlanta. And this particular one, I think it was the first Chick-fil-A, and it's kind of like their pilot store where they do a lot of test stuff. They had a normal Chick-fil-A on the left, and on the right, they had a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And you could go in, you actually sat at a table, you had a waitress, they brought you a menu. Actually, I think they had a buffet set up. And I'm like, I don't want a cheeseburger, I wanted chicken because we're at Chick-fil-A, but now we're sitting here. I have the opportunity to get a double cheeseburger at Chick-fil-A, and I did, and it was actually pretty good. But yeah, that was in Atlanta probably 10 years ago. A lot of people don't believe that, but it was true. Sorry, just catching up on some stuff. Oh, now that I'm hungry because of you guys. NVIDIA, with a quick downturn there, almost caught Google early before that push. Did you get in calls, or I got Google way down here? We just usually do Google, but as you can see, pretty much same chart. It's weird. Two different tickers, but call. Okay, cool. Definitely risky because you're under VWAP. I don't know where you bought in at it. Starting to see another push up here in Walmart too. I made some Waffle House loaded hash brown smothered, covered and chunked. Waffle House is not one of those that I eat at a lot, but it's good. I enjoy it when I eat there. Not often, but IHOP steak breakfast is good. Really, I've never had steak from IHOP. You gotta go to the ghetto ones. The worse the neighborhood, the better the food. I agree, especially when it comes to Waffle House. The awful waffle. My favorite thing at Waffle House is the patty melts. What I always get. But IHOP is good. I'm not a huge breakfast person, so I don't do a ton of IHOP. But IHOP is typically one of those that I don't get up and go eat at for breakfast in the morning. IHOP is, hey, it's dinner, breakfast sounds good, let's go there kind of thing. And Cracker Barrel. Have an Amish buffet. You know, honestly, what my favorite thing is at Cracker Barrel? Fried catfish. I love that place. Uh, yeah, Cracker Barrel. I love their fried catfish with a side of collard greens and dumplings. Not chicken and dumplings, just the dumplings. Just the boiled bread dough and gravy. That's so good. Man, y'all are just making me so damn hungry. Killing me. And I've got crap to do today and watch, and I won't even be able to eat lunch. No, no gym now. Man, if I could get out of the gym day, I would. Today's leg day. We have. I've only had Whataburger once, so I know that's more of a West Coast thing. But Whataburger is just now expanding to East Coast in our area. So I would say what 3 months ago they finally opened Whataburger downtown. We waited for the mad rush to go, and then we went one day. It was okay. I wasn't just super excited about it. I definitely will eat it again to try, but I just wasn't overly excited. I don't even remember what I had. But you know what? What one of my vices is, especially when we're traveling, put some fried jalapenos on. Ooh, that does sound good. Y'all might disown me for this one, but you know what? When I'm traveling and especially driving, and when I came, you guys know, went to the beach a few weeks ago. On the way back, I did this, but um, when I'm driving and I find one, I always stop at Crystal Burger and get those little crystals. Oh, oh, and they're it's always one of those things that sounds so good, and then you get it and you eat it and you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then about third or fourth bite, or especially through that first burger, you're like, man, this was probably a mistake. And then you eat it, and now you've got like a while to go. Yeah, those are good. We live on 85, which is an interstate here. Um, we're about an hour and a half ish north of Atlanta, and when we go to Atlanta or that direction, there's one down there. And when I talk about this is a hole in the wall, this is probably one of the Crystal burgers that Crystal probably needs to bulldoze. But man, if I'm hungry, I still have to stop there. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a good Crystal burger from there, but I just have to stop there just because it's good. The last one we ate was at in Augusta, Georgia, and it's kind of other side of Atlanta, more east side, but it was pretty good. We drove by it and I was like, oh, Crystal, and it was actually nice and clean and looked like, yeah. So we ended up I was like, I gotta stop. So we actually turned around and went back to it, and it was one of the cleanest, nicest ones I've been into a long time. But Crystal Burger is one of those that it's definitely hit or miss. It's not what you were talking about earlier with Waffle House. The crappier the neighborhood, the better the food. No, Crystal Burger is the exact opposite. You go to Crystal Burger in the ghetto, who knows what you're gonna be eating. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. We are kind of trickling more to the upside. I, we had a good morning. I mean, we played Tesla, we played IWM, Walmart, another one that ended up taking a hit on, ended up selling it, but kind of FOMOing a little bit on this PayPal. I mean, that's a good perfect trend. I spotted a few minutes ago when we were talking about food. We've got resistance at 67.17. I'm not going to play it because we're getting into lunchtime, and you don't really want to trade a call into resistance, just like you wouldn't do a put into support. But Yeah, that's the kind of movement I wish we could have grabbed somewhere in this area around that 10 o'clock. Would have been a great trade on PayPal. I don't know how I missed it, but all in all, we've had a good day. we were we were talking about food, so got distracted with the food talk. Andy puts would have paid too. Yeah, I mean, Xling, he posted or pointed that one out, this area, but we were starting to trade sideways, and I was like, wait a minute, give it some time. And then we ended up getting in some other stuff, and I think he caught this downtrend. If you're still here, Xling, let us know. But we definitely a good trade overall. I hit my stop loss, but I re-entered, and 15 and 20. Nice. I know you had talked about it. I just didn't know if you'd got in or not. But good move on that stop loss and having it, and then so you did catch that other. But we were right at 155.23 on the support. We could squeeze, kind of like what we talk about here with that peach going into there. As you can see, we came down, touched it, bounced back up, and came back down, touched it again. Then on this bounce, we made lower highs. So we were here, here, and then we dropped down to here. So it definitely has some more to the downside, but look for it to squeeze here in this area. But overall, the market is kind of trying to go sideways a little bit. May want to drop back, but we had some good movement. Buyers may step back in and try to rebuy this dip on SPY, but I wouldn't get too overly excited about it. Met in Google earlier. Yeah, but be careful wishing. Um, Wishing is emotions, and emotions will get you in trouble. I nothing about this chart really would say to me, I wish I would have got in a Google call earlier. I know you got in a Google call and it paid and you did well, but to me, I wouldn't look at this and say, I want to get in a call. Now, I say I wish we would grab this PayPal because that's a decent move. But just be careful wishing stuff like that. Because next time you'll see that same setup and say, wow, last time I seen the setup, I wish I got in, so let me get in now, and it could easily burn you. Yeah, big liquidity grab there on Google. You're right. Um, I just ugh, still. I mean, we're so below indicators. I and like I said, you are right. I do like that liquidity grab to the downside. Um, maybe if I look at it on a bigger time frame, it would tell me a different story. But you're right. I was overlooking that. So daily movement 6. I mean, it's pretty big. I do like it better there on the 15. I'm just not a big one to trade on the higher time frames. I know Chris is, but it does look better there compared to where we had it. Let me go ahead and clean these out. Don't need those anymore. But that movement happened so fast. Larger time frame on Google. Chris, I was just saying on the 2 minute, this doesn't show me anything that makes me say I want to buy a call on it. But looking at a larger time frame on the 15, I see it better, more clear. And I was just saying that you trade more on a 15-minute or higher time frames than I do. All right, guys, probably going to start wrapping things up. I see resistance 239, 238, and a trend line running in between. Yeah, I I wouldn't, but I was just saying the 15 looks a little better than the 2. Anyway, probably going to start wrapping things up here. Got some things I got to do. Was planning on doing it later, and then I got a text a few minutes ago that timelines got moved up, so dang it. But we had a good morning so far. Of course, still be around the private group, see what happens this afternoon, and going through lunch. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming hanging out with me again today. It really means a lot. Make sure you follow us and all that jazz. And if you're interested, check out that private group. You know the spiel. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys. Have a great afternoon, great week, rest of the day trading. Just play it safe. Watch your levels and everything. Yeah, see you, man. Make sure you come back, hang out with me tomorrow. Really means a lot. Tomorrow, tomorrow's Friday, guys. We're going to wrap up a good week. We're going to finish it strong. So I appreciate it, guys. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you all in the morning. All right, later, guys.